Yo, what, it's the kid, back in here for this football battle, and it is the two West African titans, West African striking legends of Drogba and Eto'o. We've heard for so long who was better, who was the big man, who was the more clinical striker, who was the striker that really rode through, who was the striker that really was, and yeah, it's between Drogba and Eto'o. Who was the better of these two? And yeah, we're gonna try and do this and break this down. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Thought about their game styles, the roles that they played, and I felt like these are the 5 best categories to best encapsulate this. So let us write this without further ado. Let's do this. So first category we have is finishing. Who's the better finisher? Tough. This is tough. I don't want to look at the amount of goals that they scored, because again, then it doesn't make this interesting. If you just say, oh, he scored more goals and therefore finishing quality, how good were you at shooting your different array of goals? We know about how good Drogba was in the air, on the floor, his volleys, his finishing, and so from outside the box, inside the box, getting at the end of finishes. Eto'o, guy was a titan. Again, out of the box. His out of the box was really good. Into the box, he was a terrier. I think it may have been his first season. Oh no, was it not? No. This was the season. I think it was when Stramaccioni or something was the coach of Inter Milan. There was a time in which I think after Mourinho had left, and I think Benitez had also left as well. I think it was Stramaccioni, the manager. Eto'o was the best in the box striker in the world. You give him to me, anything in the box, boom, finished. Imagine if you had a prime Eto'o now for Inter Milan. Inter Milan would easily win the Serie A and probably win the CL. But with the Drogba and Eto'o, who was the better finisher? You see, between both of them, amazing finishers and everything, I would have to roll with your boy Eto'o. I would have to roll with your boy Eto'o. I'm gonna have to roll with your boy Eto'o, because I just feel that with Eto'o, see, Eto'o was able to. You gave him the ball in a certain area, that ball is in. I just think that his finishing accuracy, his finishing accuracy was far better. Like, remember, whenever I do this, I look at their players at their peaks, not when they were winning at their peaks. So I'm looking at Drogba during his prime time at Chelsea. I'm looking at Eto'o during his prime time for Barcelona, and even that short stint for Inter Milan when he went back to his striking position. And when I look at Eto'o when he was a striker at Inter Milan after Mourinho left, and I look at Eto'o for Barcelona, which is why one of the dumbest transfers of all time was when Barca traded him for Ibrahimovic. When you look at that, Eto'o was a devastating striker. He was a devastating striker. So I think when you just look at as your finishing accuracy, as far as your finishing accuracy goes, I'm going to have to roll with Samuel. So I'm going to have to roll with Samuel Eto'o in that for the better finisher. Dribbler was better at dribbling. This is very simple. This is very simple, you know. I think that the Eto'o just, there was no real Drogba never really dribbled. That was not part of his game. So it is so simple, because Drogba's dribbling was not really that part of his game. I can't remember how many times I even saw this dude even dribble. Whereas for Eto'o, his dribbling was, he was not the most amazing dribbler. But compared to Drogba, he was easily a better dribbler. Like, I saw and have more evidence of Eto'o dribbling successfully than I did for Drogba. So I just think, for this one, I think it's pretty simple. And I remember a lot of goals that Eto'o would score where he would finish after a dribble. So dribble past 1, 2 guys, boom, pop the ball in, devastating fight. Let's go. So I think for this one, it's pretty simple. Eto'o, the better dribbler. Aerial ability. For me, both players had good aerial ability. Both players, there's evidence of them finishing in the air. But for this player, this was his strongest attribute. This was his strongest attribute, was this dude's aerial ability. And he scored perhaps one of the most famous goals in Chelsea history through the air with a header. I think Drogba. I think you gave Drogba a good quality cross. I think his physicality, his strength, his reading, his anticipation, his jumping, and his accuracy with his head was amazing, second to none. And I don't think Eto'o would have been able to compete with the kind of aerial prowess that Drogba was able to have in the air. I don't think Drogba in the air was just a different specimen. And I think, again, you look back at that goal that he scored against Burnley, because people can feel like, oh, great, amazing goal, last 2 minutes at the Allianz Arena, crazy. Just as a goal in and of itself, even if he scored that header in a regular Premier League game, whether he scored that goal against Torquay or flipping Doncaster, that's a bloody amazing header. Because of the angle it's coming from, where he ends up putting the ball from the header, where he heads the ball from, and you've got flipping Neuer in goal. It's just a stupidly crazy goal. So I think an argument can be said. I mean, you've got Weah. I think Bear was right. You've got Closer. But an argument can be said that, and maybe this is something that I may even have to put out on Twitter, like who was the most commanding or the best aerially as a striker? Drogba is definitely in the conversation, but is Drogba really the best aerially when it comes to aerial ability? So aerial goes to Drogba. Clutch, simple. This is simple, but no disrespect. This is no disrespect. Eto'o had clutch moments, 100%. He had clutch moments. I would argue that when you look at that Champions League final, when they faced Man United, I think it was in the 08 or the 09 final. I think it was the 09 final. When they faced them there, I keep reminding people. I remember watching that game. United were the better team, and United were actually putting them under pressure. And that goal that Eto'o scored was against the run of play, and I would call that a clutch goal. That was a clutch goal because that was like, man, we need something. Difficult time. We're not playing well, but we're sort of being outplayed. If you could get a goal out of nothing when our team is not playing well, I call that clutch. I call that is evidence for clutch. But for me, Drogba is one of the most clutch football players of all time. When you look at the Premier League winning goals he scored, the FA Cup winning goals he scored, what he did in the Philippine Champions League, this was the strongest part of him as a football player, and which is why he's so revered. That despite maybe his shortcomings for Ivory Coast and so forth, he was so clutch. He would pretty much 9 times out of 10 always show up in finals that it was like, you know what? There's another argument to be said that is he the most clutch striker of all time? That's a strong argument. There's a strong argument to be made, especially for club-wise. You could make a strong argument that Drogba was the most clutch striker of all time. So for clutch, I'm going to ride with your boy Drogba. So the final one, the deciding one, we're all scored at 2-2. Technique. Who was technically better? Who was technically better? I think even if both strikers have very different playing styles, we have to represent how good they were technically in their playing style. There is a lot of technique involved in Drogba's aerial playing style and his finishing. When people would maybe call it unorthodox or untidy, I think I would still say that there was technical proficiency in what he did. There's technical proficiency in Eto'o being able to get on to through balls, the finishing that he made, and how he's able to close control into the ball and hit it through. But if we were to say who was technically better, who had better technique, who just is, as far as football technicalities go, who was better? I have to ride with Eto'o. I think Eto'o was the technically superior football player than Drogba in this. I just think that what Eto'o could do with the ball at his feet, how sharp he was when he bring in ball control, dribbling, finishing, all these things up to put together. If you were to give me Eto'o as a package on a technical level, bruh, I have to roll with him. So I've got to roll with Eto'o as far as having better technique. So 3-2. Eto'o takes it, gets the win over Drogba again. This is where you can have your say. If you think I'm crazy, if you think I'm wrong, I think I'm not doing things right. Tell me about it. Tell me what you think I should be doing, whether you disagree with this, and give me your thoughts on any of the football battles. It's me, Bada Bing, the Drog against Samuel Eto'o. We need to cappuccino. Stay true, stay black, stay real. Peace out.